somebody that like loves being in the gym, somebody that wants to go in there and get better every day. So like that's therapy to me. I was at vet minicamp looking at DeAndre Ayton and Anthony Simons and guarding them guys. It was like, wow, like okay, I can do this. And so now it's up to you, the choices that you're gonna make, what you care about, what you prioritize. For me, it's always been basketball.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to What Doesn't Appear on the Stat Sheet Pod. I'm here once again with John. John, how you doing? We got another special guest today.
Hey, very special guest, man. We're here with Cameron Tyson. Cam's been a really close friend of mine throughout the years. We played together for a year. We grew up, competing against each other with the high schools, and we're just very fortunate to have Cam on the pod. And just a little background on Cam. I have some stats here, but Bothell High School, you were the all-time leading scorer. I mean, this guy averaged 27 points a game in his senior year. What an amazing accomplishment. And, led his team to many victories and all that. Played at Idaho for a year, played at Houston sat out a year and then played a year. And then obviously at SeattleU, where he had a tremendous career here, 3-time first team, And I'm saying all these accolades, but Cam more the guy who's like, we won here. We won as a team.
Sure.
And Cam, man, that's just a little intro on you. But man, can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing, your background? How you got started with hoops? Just to intro. Yeah.
First and foremost, appreciate y'all for having me always. But I kind of got introduced. Being like the little brother for so many people. Grew up in Bothell, and I was around, my brother growing up, DeMarcus, and Zach Levine, Perry Collins, like so many people that, did so many things playing the game that when I was I remember when I was in 4th grade, they was in 8th grade, 9th grade, and they would play 3-on-3 full court every Friday, and I would come in there and they would be like, oh, we need one. And so I'd be thrown in the fire. And it's like, I was never the dude getting the most shots. I was never the dude, making plays for others. So I had to find ways to impact the game at an early age from, rebounding, whether that's playing defense, just going out there really playing the hardest you really can.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the foundation of my game. And when I played for Rotary in 4th grade, like, believe it or not, I couldn't shoot a basketball. I was just go in there and be tough for everybody, be the toughest dude on the court, and go get as many rebounds as possible. Yeah. And I just always enjoyed winning. And then, high school came around, and I could have probably went to, play somewhere in Metro, but, Zach and Paul Levine, his dad, they always told me and my family, like, if you're good enough, they'll come find you. Yeah. And so that's what it was for me. And I was able to go to Bothell, play for Ron Bollinger, where I was able to make as many mistakes as I needed and was able to learn how to play the game, kind of the way that I saw it and kind of mold my game there. And then went to Idaho, had a phenomenal freshman year, set a couple records there, and was able to use that as a platform to just start my journey. We didn't win any games. We went like 5-25, but it was really a interesting introduction to college basketball. Then I went from Idaho to Houston. I sat out for a year, and just like the shock from going to a low Division I school to one of the top powerhouses in the country. Initially, it was an adjustment, but that's why I was glad I had that redshirt year to kind of get adjusted to it. So then, when my number was called the second year, I was able to make an impact in the games I did play. It's coincidentally enough, I did set the 3-point record there. So. I went down in their history books, and to just be a part of that that culture and the program and its history, was able to go to a Final Four with those guys, and I still talk to those guys today. It's crazy. And then ended up transferring. I think I made it pretty clear to SeattleU that this is where I wanted to be. I didn't want to go to University of Washington. I didn't want to go to Washington State. I didn't want to go to Gonzaga. I wanted to go to SeattleU. I feel like they offered me in high school, and I decided to go elsewhere. But they were the only Washington school that ever offered me, ever showed interest. And for me, I'm somebody that believes in myself a lot, and so I thought I could play with anybody coming out of high school. So it's just crazy to kind of see that full circle moment. And then I was able to be around a program in SeattleU that believed in me, and I believed in them just as much as they believed in me. And I think that was half the battle. I was able to be around amazing teammates. I built so many relationships, and I'm close with so many people that I played here with. It was really like I feel like it was really a turning point. The culture kind of became a family, and it welcomes so many with open arms now.
I want to touch on something you said earlier. You said you weren't able to shoot, but then you go on there and break a 3-point single game record. How was that journey from, like you said, not being able to really get a shot up, and then now to being all the way able to break a record? I mean, that's crazy development, girl.
Huge feat.
For sure. You talking about when I was at Houston?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. So it was crazy.
Can you tell us about that? Like, how did that transpire? What was it like? Coach was like, get in there. Yeah.
Man, so we was playing Tulane, and it was like a Thursday night during COVID. Couldn't have no fans. And I think it was like that Tuesday, Quentin Grimes, went down with an ankle injury during practice. And so, the game came, and, coach told me to be ready. He said, I don't know if I'm going to play you or not. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if you're going to go in or not. And I was just like, okay. Like, I've always been ready. I stayed after every game I didn't play and made 1,000 shots after the game. And, every day after practice, I was the first one in, last one to leave. And I just somebody that always really believes in hard work is going to pay off, once the opportunity presents itself. And so it was probably like 6 minutes into the game. We weren't really playing too well. It was kind of stagnant. Couldn't figure it out. Tulane was in the zone. And Sam looks at me and says, go in the game. I go in the game, and they leave me wide open for my first shot, cash. Leave me wide open for my second shot, cash. And so it was just like a surreal moment. And then after I hit two, everybody has kind of already seen on the team what I'm able to do in practice. So it was like, no, we're just going to keep feeding them. I think I ended up getting about 15 threes that game, and was able to make 9 or 10, I think. And it just speaks volumes to the culture that they have over there. Like, everybody was so excited, like, just to be there and witness that and be there for me. Like, it was, I had some unbelievable teammates, and ultimately I feel like that's one of the reasons we were able to make a Final Four.
Right. You spoke about it earlier, but just talk a little bit about the importance of having a strong work ethic, no matter like the result. I think oftentimes younger kids these days, bro, they get caught up in result. It's like, if I ain't saying nothing, I'm so I'm depressed, or I don't feel good. Like, what is it that kept you in that fight during those trying times?
For me, I love hoop. Like, I feel like I'm Seattle basketball through and through. Like there's so many people that come out of here that love the game of basketball. From Zach to Maul C to Paolo, everybody. Like, it just trickles down through generations, and I feel like I'm a living testament to that. Like, I'm somebody that like loves being in the gym. I'm somebody that wants to go in there and get better every day. So like that's therapy to me. So being able to go in there after games that I didn't play or didn't play well, and go in there and get some good work in is like, okay, like today wasn't all that bad. Like, I was still able to get better, and I'm gonna go watch the film, and I'm gonna move on to the next game. And I was also, there were so many mentors around me that kind of influenced that. My mom and dad.
Shout out mom and dad.
Yeah, shout out mom and dad. They was able to really just set that tone early. I saw how hard they worked. My pops would be up until 6, 7 a.m. He might even stay up 48 hours straight if he needs to, just in order to get the job done. My mom would wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work in the morning, and come home and make us dinner, and it was just nonstop over and over. They just continue to keep going. So I mean, that was kind of like a non-negotiable in my house. Like, you're gonna work hard and you're gonna get good grades, and you're gonna be a great person. Like,
That's right.
those are 3 things that I think my family really instilled in me. That really just helped me grow. And then, like I said, like, I was surrounded by so many people that worked hard, and so it's like, I'm not trying to stand out for being the one that doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not saying
so,
sit on my butt.
Exactly. So it was like, nah, I gotta push them the same way they're pushing me. I gotta find ways.
Right.
So, yeah.
That was huge. Yeah.
Going off of that, you talk about the mentors in the Seattle hoop scene. We just had Michael Knight on. We talked about the Seattle hoop scene in general. Talk about how important you mentioned your story. It sounds like you were surrounded by so much talent, so much community in the Seattle hoop scene, and talk about how important that was and soaking all that in, and how that helped you build into the player you have progressed into where you are now.
I think my journey in the Seattle hoop scene is a little different, just because I didn't really grow up in the city. And so, like, Zach Levine, big mentor of mine. My brother, big mentor of mine. Perryon, Glenn, Mark, all them dudes were like big mentors of mine, and I was able to see like what they did, and they took me under their wing at an early age. And then, by the time I got to a senior year in high school, it was, Maul C reached out to me the first time, and I was like, dude, I was watching this dude on TV. Like, it was weird. It was such a surreal moment. Like I really just hooped against him, and I felt like I was able to hold my own. And then, like, it was just like, he embraced me. Brandon Roy, Michael Knight, all those dudes, and it's just like the culture here. You'll see, like, once you really come to Seattle, and if you're able to experience Jamal's program again, just like what the basketball means in the city of Seattle. Like, it'll be a Saturday, at noon, and there'll be the whole SPU will be packed out, to watch just the games the whole day. And it's such a cool event. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is that, once you're really in the hoop scene, it's so much more than just the program on Saturdays. Like, we're in a group chat and we're hooping throughout the week, and we're getting better throughout the week, working out together, doing all that, and then that's just what you were able to see, like, on Saturdays and Sundays when it's open to the public. But I mean, it's just how much they embrace and really want you to be successful. And they've been there, they've seen it, so many guys, and that's what I think Seattle is just so unique. Like, they give back, especially to the hoop city, the community, and just want to see the best for everybody.
Yeah, I can vouch for that too, man. Like, anytime you reach out to these dudes, like IT, Paul, obviously close one to me, Jamal, they're always receptive. They're always willing to help, and I think that's so great for younger hoopers, that are trying to build up, that are trying to grow. So I definitely saw that too. Hey, man, so you talk about your parents. Someone very close to you, and I know for a fact because I'm around them basically every day. That's DeMarcus Tyson, your brother. Talk about his impact in your growth throughout your years, and then how much he means to you, man. Like, as a human, on and off the court.
I love that dude, man. He's probably the reason that like I started taking basketball so seriously, because I was. Growing up, I was a football kid. Like, I like playing safety. I like hitting people, and I like playing baseball. Like, as crazy as it sounds, like, those were my 2 favorite sports. And so my brother always wanted to play basketball. I'm like, bro, can we throw the football or something? Bro? Like, can we do something else? Like, he's like, nah, bro. Like, I want to play basketball. And then he was just like, I want to do that. So I was like, okay, I'm the little brother. Like, I gotta go along with it at this point. And and then by the time that he started getting to high school, I was around in middle school. He was actually a part of the 2013 Lakeside team that went to the state championship. And so I was able to see that, and that was so surreal, because I mean, I was like that team's little brother. Like, I would go in the locker rooms after game with Tavio, Tremaine, IB, like, my brother, and they would just treat me like I was one of them. Like, it was the coolest thing ever. And I was like, wow, like, I'm really surrounded by some cool dudes.
Yeah.
And so just kind of seeing that, it was very like inspirational. My brother worked hard, still works hard to this day, and probably one of the hardest workers I know. Like when it's time to work, he's gonna strap his boots up and no excuses, no nothing. Like let's work. And so that's why today, like even to this day, like he's the dude that you're gonna see me work out with the most, because I just know that he has my best interests and he genuinely wants to see me get better. And just kind of going back, like I remember there was times that, you know, my brother turned down going to runs when he was in high school just because they didn't invite me. And to me, like that just showed like the belief that he had in me. Like, you're not gonna invite my little brother? Like, I think he can hoop here. Like, okay. So it was just like kind of that, like that belief and that like foundation is something that like really stuck with me. Like, okay, yeah, he believed in me since I was in 6th, 7th grade, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Like, and so it was like when I was transferring, kind of leaving Houston, it was like I was thankful for everything that Samp and them did for me, but at the same time, it was like I got to go somewhere where I feel like they're gonna invest in me and they're gonna have my best interest.
Or you're needed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, Coach Vic, Coach Hayford, they made that very clear. They was like, "How do we show you that we're invested in you? Like, you know, does your brother want to come coach?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, you guys are this serious? Like, okay, yeah, like let's get it done. Like, okay, yeah, like that showed me that like how much they believed in me, and knowing somebody that genuinely has your best interest and is not just saying that to you, is different. Somebody that you know you are able to go to work with, and trust me, it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows. Like we had our, you saw it, so
but it's all for the better, right?
Exactly. And it's like we're just both passionate about the game. We both want the same thing, but we see it two different ways sometimes. And I mean, we're brothers. Like we're gonna go at it. And at the end of the day, we're still gonna love each other. We're still gonna be so thankful for each other. And, I mean, like I said, I love that dude. Man.
Yeah. No, he's amazing. Just to follow up, and like, obviously, so I played with Cam for a year, and boy, I learned so much from Cam. Like, whether it's just when it comes to like doing things that influence winning. I think Cam, you really care about winning. You really care about the team, and just a couple things like he helped me focus on like locking in on my defense. You know, locking in on, you know, doing something for your teammate. Talk about the importance of doing something for your teammate, going the extra mile for your guys, and how important that is to winning culture.
For sure. I mean, I think it's something that kind of Samp instilled in me.
Right.
I was always a good teammate, like going back to my Bothell days. And I went to Idaho, didn't really know what that looked like at that level.
Yeah.
But then when I got to Houston, just waking up at 4:15 for 4:45 workouts in the morning, and waking up to just straight boot camp. Like it felt like we was in the military. How much we was running. Like so many of my teammates threw up. So many of them passed out when we was done, and it was just like, yo, like this is never ending. But we was all going through it together.
Right, as a team.
Exactly, and you know, if one person didn't clap, we had a whole extra rep.
The whole team.
The whole team. Yeah. So it was just like that brought us together, and that's what Samp is very good at, just like bringing his teams together. Like regardless of if you don't like each other going in, your guys gonna love each other going out. And so to me, like that was kind of like the biggest message that I took away from Houston as a whole, and I was able to see it. So it was like, okay, like I'm back home, like I should be making all these other people that are not from around here be making it feel like home for them. And so I felt like, you know, I was able to help do that. You know, my first year, you know, I was with DT, Mac, Nate, all those dudes, and I had all those dudes over at my house for Thanksgiving. Like, and it was just like that's the type of family atmosphere that I feel like is kind of goes along with a winning culture.
Right.
Because I mean, if you don't like somebody on the court and you don't like them off the court, now there's a problem. Like you don't want to pass them the ball, you don't want to go the extra mile for it. But if that's your brother, that's your right hand man, you're willing to,
Go to
risk it
battle.
all. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and so just like coming in, competing, and letting everybody know that I was here to win and I'm here to stay. Like, and you think you're gonna come after my spot? Then again, like, I love you, brother, but where's the competition in between this line? After all that, like after that, we can go out and eat. Yeah, we can go out and eat. We can go do whatever. And so it's just like I feel like that was something like I took a lot of pride in just being a good teammate, and as well as like, I mean, it's crazy because you don't realize it when you're doing it, but everything comes full circle. I talked to almost all my teammates, like especially the ones I played here with. Like,
super close.
Yeah, I talked to every one of them that was part of my 3 years. Like, I talked to every single one of them. Yeah. And that's really crazy because I feel like that's kind of unheard of. Like, you might talk to a teammate from 1 year, but I was here 3 years, and I'm blessed enough to have a relationship with all those guys that, I was teammates with.
And it's crazy too because like the teams would change.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you would have a whole new team. You're from your first year to your second year to your third year.
Exactly.
I know for a fact.
Exactly.
No, that's awesome, man.
Super.
Yeah, I want to touch about your time. You had a great career here at SU. Do you have an example of a part of your game that really took a leap here? Like a single, it could be anything, could be whatever. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question.
A lot.
Yeah. Full circle right there.
For sure. I feel like I was always able to shoot the ball. I feel like that's something I worked on at an early age. But I think I don't know, to pinpoint one thing, I would probably say my defense. I feel like when I was at Houston, like that was the thing that kind of made me like a suspect on if I'm gonna get on the court or not. Sam just didn't trust me to defend. And then I was able to be around Darion my first year, ultra quick guard. Played for San Diego State. Ended up transferring, and I was able to just play one-on-one with him every day. And I was like, if I can stay in front of this dude, like I should be able to stay in front of a lot of people. So I would go into practice, and him and Kyrie would be going at it, and I'd be like, nah, like hold on, like I need a few reps picking up full court, like. So I really took pride in that. And then Riley Grigsby, another one, he was with me 2 out of my 3 years, and he always guarded the best wing player. And then my third year, we was kind of looking around like, who's gonna guard the best wing player? We knew Shu was on the point guard, but if they had a good wing, we didn't know who was guarding them. And so it was just like, all right, Cam, we're gonna see how bad you really want to win. Like, and I feel like for the most part, I won a lot of those matchups. And it was fun. Like knowing that you're not only guarding the best player, but you also going at him and able to give him fits. Like it was a cool experience. Like, and yeah, so I'd say defense and leadership for sure.
I actually love, because talking about the importance of defense in general, I feel like, especially when we talk about up-and-coming players, that part gets so overlooked, especially when you talk about training and working in the offseason. Everybody thinks offensively. Talk about working on your defensive side and improving defensively, and how that, you talk about is how that made you be able to stay on the court more. I talk about
for sure. I mean, for me in the offseason, only time I really get to work on my defense is when I play one-on-one or I go to open gym with these guys, and I'll go in there and pick up full court. Just kind of set the tone, because I mean that's really like, you can't really do many defensive drills. I mean, yeah, you could slide, but it's not really game like. You're just kind of working on your foot speed. And so for me, anytime I get live reps against somebody, I'm trying to pick them up, trying to turn them, trying to make their life miserable. And just like I feel like that was really my role this year when I played in the G League. I was able to play for Rip City, and I was able to be able to just get on the court simply just because of the fact I can defend. And when you're working on it, you don't realize, like, you're like, oh, I gotta go play defense, because I mean, every kid since when they were 3 or 4 years old, like, all they want to do is go shoot. And I mean, when you go to the gym, that's all you're really trying to go shoot. Like, you don't see nobody working on an hour of defense, because that's boring. You might work on that in practice, but on your own time, you're not gonna work on that. And so it was just like finding your niche and being able to be versatile and be able to shoot the ball, but also be able to defend. Like, that's a hot commodity, especially in the highest levels of basketball. NBA, you hear the term 3-and-D all the time. And I mean, they thrive off those dudes. And so, you know, if you said like if you can defend and you can shoot the ball at a high level, like I feel like there's always a spot for you to play something.
You know, I'll just add too, man. Like I remember when we'd be in warm-ups, it was funny because we would do like these 8-minute warm-ups right before the game, and the only thing Cam would say to me is defense and rebounding. And you would think the guy's like an all-time scorer, like, you know, he's like leading the country. You know, it's like, and all he's telling me is defense and rebounding. Well, I wonder why. Why? Because that leads to winning, guys. Like, and I think that's a great message you instill in your guys, and you instilled in me that year, and it leads to winning.
And kind of going off that too, like deep. Like I said that to you because, like you was kind of like me. Like you when I came here, I was all about scoring. Like I wanted to score points, and I didn't realize like if I was having a bad game, how I could switch that. But
how you could impact
exactly, but with defense and rebounding, if I go to get an offensive rebound putback, now I see the ball go through the basket, and now who knows, I might bang 3 threes back to back to back.
Yeah.
Like so, it's just little things, little
Yeah.
things that get you going like that. So like that's why I always say that to you, like defense and rebound, because like no matter you can't really control if you're making or missing shots. Like all you can do is put in the work before and put in the work after. Like preparation can stay the same, the result might change, but. You know, defense and rebound is just about attitude and effort.
That's it. That's it, daily. And, you know, I just like to ask, like, what's the biggest difference between, say, the college game and the NBA G League game? What have you seen has been the biggest thing you need to develop or grow in order to be at your best at that level?
I say from a scheme standpoint, just it's more free flowing in the G.
You say free flow is like open gym?
I would say it's a little bit more systematic than an open gym, but it's like a structured open gym.
Okay, gotcha.
Like you got a coach might come down and call a play every 4 or 5 possessions.
Yeah.
When in college, you know, they're calling a play every time down the court. Most programs. But that level is just so talented that you can do that.
Yeah.
And there's so many weapons and it's so fast. Like the pace of the game is so fast. In the amount of games, like that's another thing that really took its toll on me. Like I didn't play 82, I played 50. So it was like, and the most I've ever played in college was 35, 36. Went to the CPI, played in the Final Four. Like those were the most, and so those extra 14 games, like you don't realize it, but they take a toll on your body. Like
and to travel too, I can imagine. Yeah,
for sure. Like you're playing 4 games a week, and mind you, we started a whole month later than the NBA. So. Yeah. And we get done before them. So we're fitting those 50 games in a kind of a small window.
Yeah.
And so, you're playing 3 or 4 games a week. And, you know, they talk about the rookie wall all the time. I mean, the GM came to me midway through the season. I was struggling. He was like, Cam, like, I don't want to see you in the gym, like, before practice or after practice no more. Like, you need to take a break. Like, like you're overworking yourself and you're hitting that wall and it's showing. Like, and he was like, you know, even if we got to tone it down some practice, we're fine with that. But we need you to get back to yourself. And so him kind of saying that and relaying that message to me was like, okay, like this is serious. Like I need to start investing in my body more. I need to start getting treatment. I need to start sitting in the cold tub more. I need to start sitting in the hot tub more. I need to, you know, go home and you know eat right. There's so much that kind of just carries over to, you know, being able to play in that long-lasting season that, you know, is so treacherous on the body.
And yeah, talk about that in general. I mean, how exciting is that big thing playing in the G League for the Rip City remix? I mean, that's talk about that.
It was a blessing. It was a crazy journey though. I mean, just from the start to finish. I had 2 pre-draft workouts, and neither one of them was with Rip City or Portland. Who's Rip City's kind of G League affiliate. But I worked out for Utah and I worked out for the Lakers, and I mean, I didn't end up there. It was crazy. One week they just called my agent, or my agent called them.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened, but we was able to go down there, and I was able to work out with 6 guys. They had five guys plus me in the workout, so 6. And I ended up having a really good week. Got invited back the next week, had a really good week again. And then got invited back the next week, had a really good week again. And before I knew it, I was I was at vet minicamp looking at DeAndre Ayton and Anthony Simons and guarding them guys. It was like, wow, like, okay, I could do this and holding my own. It was like that gave me such a confidence boost going into the season. Like, okay, I can play at this level. Like, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with the basketball community around here, because you grow up and in high school you're playing with the Jamals, the Zacks, the people like that. So it was nothing new, but just seeing at that level and going into the season, and it was like September finally came around. Your buddies is leaving to go play somewhere overseas or go play in the G somewhere, and you're looking around like, I don't got no contract, like, and you're like, okay, like, it's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out, but you never really know.
Yeah.
And so just kind of seeing that and being able to go to that mini camp and then have them offer me a G League contract right after that was like, wow, okay, we finally got our foot in the door.
Talk about the importance, man. You're so routine based. Like you're doing things every day, and you're working out. You're recovering. You're doing all that. Talk about the importance of having a routine in college and then in the league. Like how important is having a routine?
I think it's very important. I would say the difference between my college routine and my routine now is during the season it's a lot shorter. I would come in college and I would be in here probably 45 minutes before practice and be getting my work in with Morgan Memes or whoever for real.
Yeah.
And I was able to go those 45 minutes, do the 2-hour, 30-minute practice, 3-hour practices, and then still be able to shoot after. But you play so many games in the G that you're not able to do that 45 minutes before and 45 minutes after. You got to turn that 45 minutes into 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Gotta be efficient.
Exactly, way more efficient. Way more efficient. And for me, like, I tell my brother this all the time, like, unless I tell you, like, I'm tired and I need to sleep in today, like, let's go at the 7:15s in the morning. Let's go at 8 a.m.s. Like, let's go at the 6:30s. Like let's get up and let's start being productive with our days. Like, and so I think for him, like that routine for me, it's very small, but it's like, okay, I know I gotta go to sleep early because I gotta wake up at 6:30 to go get this work in, and then I'm gonna be able to come home, take a nap, and then go back and do some strength training, and then be able to take another nap and come back to the gym. And of course, I mean, you always got to refuel your body in between that. But taking care of your body, like, I don't think it's emphasized, but it's not believed enough by athletes. Like,
right.
Until
we think we can get away with anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, really.
Because, I mean, when we're young, we played 5 games a day.
AAU culture, it's like, bro, it's 5 games a day, and then you're going nonstop.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you break your foot. You twist your ankle, like, all that.
And it's just like getting older.
Yeah.
Your body's wearing down. Man.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Take
just,
care of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's just not emphasized. And like it's emphasized, and like all the OGs say it.
Yeah.
Everybody that's around the game, everybody that wants to see you do well is gonna tell you to take care of your body. But I mean, it's hard because you get done hooping and you like, oh, NBA playoffs is on. I'm not trying to be late to that. I want to go watch the game.
Yeah.
I want to go hang out with my friends. Like, I want to go do something else other than go take care of my body. But it's all about sacrifices, especially college. Even I would say starting in high school, it's about sacrifices. I mean, there's so many distractions, so many things that could just take your mind and absorb you. Exactly, all that. And it's just like after high school, you don't have nobody. You don't have your mom and dad no more holding your hand through it. Like, you're kind of on your own.
Yeah.
Like, so now it's up to you, the choices that you're gonna make, what you care about, what you prioritize. And for me, it's always been basketball.
You say take care of your body. It sounds like you're much more aware of it now than you were before. What are you doing now that you weren't doing before? What does take care of your body actually look like for you nowadays?
It depends on how treacherous of a day it is. If I've had a long
4 days, 5 days.
Yeah, if I've had a long day, I'm getting in the ice tub for at least 20 minutes, or I'm getting in the jacuzzi for at least 30 minutes. But the bare minimum for me is 4 ice packs, 2 on the knees, 2 on the calves, and I got to do that regardless of what type of day it is. And then I try to go get a massage at least once or twice a week. Something that, you know, is kind of just very relaxing and really just kind of helps all the muscles feel better, and kind of takes away that soreness. It hurts in the moment sometimes, but after that it feels a lot better. And then as well as yoga, I'm a yogi. I'm somebody that does yoga every night before I go to bed, and hot yoga. I do all that, so it's like all that stuff just combined. Different, your body kind of reacts differently to all those different types of things. So you kind of just gotta feel your body and know your body and see what it needs, and just kind of go from there.
And figure out what's best for it too.
Exactly.
Yeah. No. My next question is around, you know, obviously Coach Vic. You know, he coached you for 3 years, head coach. What was your experience with him like? What are some of the things you can take away, you know, on the court but off the court too?
For sure. I think the biggest thing he taught me was attitude and effort.
Yeah.
And he emphasized that every day. You know, I remember my first year, he was an interim, and he pulled me aside and he said, you know what, like, you got a lot of talent, but your attitude and effort every day does not match your talent. And so it was just like that message for me is something that like really stuck, and it was like, okay, like if I could change this, who knows where the game can take me.
Yeah.
As well as I told him like after that I was like, coach me, like I want to be coached, like and I feel like if you're on a team and you know your quote unquote best player wants to be coached, now it's hard to not hold everybody else accountable.
Correct.
And that's part of the winning. That's part of the culture. That's part of the everything that we was talking about earlier.
Leadership.
Exactly, leadership. And so I think him kind of me kind of telling him that as an interim was something that kind of stuck with him my 3 years here. And he was like, okay, if I can coach Cam hard, then I can coach anybody on the team hard, because you know everybody kind of respects me. And so I think that was attitude and effort, and just be a good person.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of goes untalked about. There's a lot of people that aren't in the NBA not because of their talent, just because they're simply assholes. And like teams are not going to tolerate that. You might be able to get away with it in college, but people don't understand like that jump from high school to college, the numbers get smaller, and then that jump from college to the NBA or professional basketball at that point, it gets even smaller. And so it's really the cream of the crop. And if you know teams are willing to spend money on you, you can't make them look like a fool for hiring you and making you a part of their program. Like I just never understand that. So for me, I think it was just attitude and effort. What really, and then as well, like he pushed me. He put me in a lot of uncomfortable situations where it's like, all right, Cam, like when we played GCU at home my last year, and I hadn't played for 3 games. We didn't know how well my ankle was going to hold up.
That.
And
What a legendary game. Can you talk about that game a little bit more? Like the kind of coming up to. Wait, actually, hold on. We got something serious to talk about, and you could tell the story probably better than anybody. But talk about our SFA to GCU coming back home to GCU trip.
oh yeah,
Do you remember that? I know you do.
yeah. So we fly to SFA.
Yeah.
I think SFA was like a Thursday, the first of the week. And mind you, we don't never get no charter planes. We're flying commercial. We might be in the back by the bathroom sometimes. Everybody might got middle seats. You know, you never know what we're gonna get.
Right.
Bags might get lost. You never know. So
We've been there.
So we fly. We're going to SFA. Also, which is in Nacogdoches, Texas.
Yep.
Probably never heard of it. And Coach Vic's like, you know what? Since the travel is so hard, we're gonna have to take 2 connecting flights and a couple buses just to get there.
Take about
a
day and a half.
Yeah, a day and a half. So he's like, let's just charter. They got a small airport. Let's just charter.
Nice.
We can fly straight in and fly right out after the game. Yeah. And so we ended up getting a charter. We land, play the game, or I don't play. I was hurt. I go down like 2 games ago, the ankle injury against UTRGV, and so we get there and we play the game. Got in the night before, played the game, and we get on the plane to go back. We about to take off, and I look out the window, and I was like, our pilot just hit the little the little wall that was like where they hold the planes, like garage for the planes. Yeah, I was like, they just came close to that wall. Yeah. And all of a sudden they come over intercom. Yeah, sorry, we're gonna have to. This is gonna be a quite a delay. We have partial of a wing fall off, and I'm like, oh, we're not making it out tonight.
That's not what you want to see.
Exactly. So then they come back on the intercom. They're like, yeah, we're going to have to get a whole nother charter plane, but we can't get another charter plane until in the morning. So we're like, okay.
Matter of fact, we got to play on Saturday.
Yeah, we play GCU.
This is Thursday night. This is Thursday night. This is going down.
And I don't think GCU had lost a game going into that. Like, they were stacked. They had Tyon, Ray Harrison, like Gabe. Like, they had some dudes over there.
Dogs.
And so we get back to the hotel. Everybody like exhausted, like we just lost, like vibes was just So we get back to the hotel.
We ordered Denny's.
Yeah.
Late night Denny's steak. I never had a steak from Denny's. I was like, God, this is steak and eggs, baby. At 2 a.m. So anyway.
Nah, literally. So yeah, everybody get their Denny's order.
Yeah.
And Coach Vic just like, go get some rest. Wake up. We don't know what we got for you at the moment right now. We'll wake up and figure it out.
We'll take you guys.
I think he said everybody be up by 8:30 because I think that was the earliest he thought anything could happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we wake up the next morning. We get
This is Friday.
Yeah, we get a charter. We leave at probably like noon. I don't remember it being too early. Mm-hmm. And we probably leave at noon. And
everything is alright. It's alright. Not too bad.
We'll probably get back by 3 or 4. Like it's Texas, kind of far.
Yeah.
And so we could probably get like an hour and a half in the air. They come over to intercom like, yeah, we're not gonna be able to make the whole flight. We're low on fuel. So we stop.
Yeah.
We're low on fuel. So we land. I think where we land. We landed. We landed in Denver.
Oh, emergency! Like emergency.
No, because they get low on gas.
Yeah, low on gas.
You can't even make it. Oh my god!
I gotta make a stop. I gotta make a pit stop. We're like, oh no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we're low on gas, and so we make the pit stop. We land, and they're like, we during our landing we just got hit with a rock in our windshield. We don't think it's gonna be nothing dramatic. We're like, we're gonna take off here in about 30 minutes, and probably land in Seattle around 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Won't be too bad.
And then we take off in the air after we get gas. They're like, they come back over the intercom, and they're like, yeah, our window just keeps cracking more and more. We're not gonna be able to fly this plane anymore. It's out of service.
It's done.
So now we're stuck in Colorado.
Well, the whole thing. So like, let's say, first they had the one windshield cracked, and they're like, "Oh, we can do this. We can do this. We can take off. We'll be fine." They get up about 20,000 feet in the air. Boom! Whole thing shatters.
Jeez, like, oh my god.
And this is like a hazard. Like we're like, whoa. Like I'm looking at my boy like, ooh, like are we all right? Like I'm gonna be okay. So we land back down.
Man, we land back down.
Denver.
Yeah, Denver. Colin's from there. Colin's from there. So
we maybe spend some time in Denver.
So he's reaching out to his people, like if we need a place to stay, like or whatever, like if we got to stay overnight. He's trying to figure out with the whack, like are we gonna play this game tomorrow? Yeah. And meanwhile, we got Coach Vic, my brother Steve, like all on the computers, like trying to get flights. And then Steve stops doing that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we got a game tomorrow. I gotta get these guys ready." Like, so we go to like this like office like at the airport,
Mm-hmm.
and we start watching personnel film at the airport.
In the airport.
Yeah, talking about how we're gonna
Time
meet
go
these guys.
right, you know, he
exactly.
pulls up and he's, you know. We're like, wait, what?
And so I don't know. It was just like a funny experience. And then we end up being able to get flights to Seattle. Everybody, I think there was like everybody was scattered on like three different flights.
Yeah.
We calling Ubers to the airport.
Yeah.
Just trying to make it back home.
Nutty.
We get back home. How late was it, bro?
It's like 1.
Yeah, probably like
1 a.m.
Probably 1 a.m. we get to the Redhawks Center.
And that's 1 a.m. Saturday. We play at 7 p.m.
Facts.
Wow.
And
we're playing.
facts. Yeah, we're playing. Black
Like,
said
it's
they
not-
want to
yeah.
cancel it. Black said if y'all get back,
Let's go.
y'all are playing.
Yeah.
And
And it's funny because like we're on Instagram, right? And like GCU is like practicing at our gym.
yeah, and we're not even
And we're not even there.
We're not even in the same state.
We're in Denver and they're practicing at our court, you know, like doing their little pep talk, whatever it is.
Thanks.
And yeah, keep going.
And yeah, we get back, and mind you, like my ankle's still nowhere near 100%.
Yeah, you're
like I was probably like 75%.
Yeah.
And I mean, how many have we lost back? We lost back to back.
It was
or
like
three
back
straight?
to back. It was a Texas trip. We lost back to back.
Yeah, back to back. And I was like, man, like if in order for us to keep in the race, like I gotta get these guys whatever I can get
Going, yeah.
at least.
No.
And so we get back, game gets tipped off. So I remember, you know, I'm sliding, and I'm doing a pretty good job on Tyson. He's hitting some tough shots. Like
he's a tough shot maker.
Tyson is a tough shot maker. So it was like I'm sliding, and it's like, okay, I'm there. I feel like I'm playing pretty good defense. And man, he probably lit us up for like 25, and it got to a point late in the fourth, it was like a tie ball game, and it was close. And we call a timeout. I go, hey, yo, shoot, bro. I can take Ray Harrison, bro. You go guard Tyon, bro. My ankle is throbbing. like yeah, bad.
And he's cooking though.
Yeah.
Like Cam's like getting.
I probably matched his numbers. Like he might have had 25, but yeah, I had 25 too. So yeah, it was just like, yeah, shoot, you gotta go guard him,
Yeah,
bro.
you
Like
got to.
I physically can't go on my ankle no more.
Yeah.
And then there was probably like the last 3 possessions, like I was just limping like crazy, and it was like, I forgot who Ray Harrison shot the last shot going left. I want to say, and then I grabbed the rebound, and I was like, yes, this game is finally over. I just got to make a free throw. That's as easy as it's been all these last 48 hours. So yeah, it was a dope experience. You know, we beat GCU, handed them their first L in conference. I think their second L on the season.
It was a huge win for us.
Huge win, and it was just like showed us that, you know, we can play with anybody.
And we could do anything.
Exactly.
You know?
After all that.
And,
Exactly.
And I got places like, bro, it's all about up here, right? It's all your mind, right? It's all your mind. And people don't understand that. Like, you are capable of so much more than you even think. You know, and you could do more. Harvey, do you have another question here?
Yeah, man, I got another one before we get you out. That's great. That's a great I'm still thinking.
Hey, go Red Hogs.
Hey, the
man.
last person I want.
Shout out Red Hogs Center too, because you guys came out and that was super lit. Yeah.
And Rick Jones for getting that charter.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been nice if it would have went according to the plan, but
The last person I want rolling the dice is the pilot, man. That's the last guy I want rolling. I don't know about this windshield, but we're gonna do it.
That's right. That's
All
right.
right, yeah. One thing I want to talk about before we get you out of here is you played this past season with in the J League, your first season there. What is one thing that you learned that you're working on now that you're super excited to improve on and get back to?
Like this off season.
This off season, and yeah, going into
Biggest
these
focus.
college season.
I just feel like I know what my role is at that level. My job is to make threes and play defense, guard their best players, and be relentless, both on defense and on offense. And I feel like I was able to be surrounded by so many people that had been in the league. You know, James Bouknight, Bryce McGowan, Henry Drell, and to be able to learn from those guys and be able to see what they do well and kind of how they make their living is something that I want to incorporate. But at the same time, I don't want to get lost and not be who I am. So I know that, you know, if a coach is gonna put me out there, they expect me to go in and play hard, make a you know, energy, be a energy kind of giver, and be somebody that, is going to be aggressive on offense. So I would just say, just kind of being more efficient.
Consistency maybe
Yeah.
plays into that.
I think I started off the year shooting like 45% from the field and 40% from three, and then there was a time where I kind of hit that wall,
Yep.
and I couldn't get nothing to drop. I think I was shooting 19% from the field through that stretch, and then I was able to end the season strong. I think I ended up shooting like 37% from three and 40% from the field, and so just kind of being more consistent, like John said, and just making sure I don't hit that wall anymore. So this summer it's kind of just really been about like putting in the right amount of work, being more efficient with your work, and not just trying to make sure I don't hit that wall again.
What do you talk? So talk about your work. Just real quick. I think we got like 10 more minutes. Talk about your work and the intention you bring towards your work. Like, talk about intentional practice, because I felt like for example, right now, like I'm going into workouts. I have 2 guys on me. Right. It's intense. It's really focused on footwork and finish, and you're just being a great all-around player. Talk about the importance of being very focused and intentional in your work.
I think whatever you focus on, and whatever is the focal point of your summer, and kind of whatever you didn't think went well past season that you're trying to work on, I think it all kind of breaks down to something as simple as whether it's footwork or hand placement or rhythm, and just being able to use the summer as really breaking it down to a science. And summer is a time where you can't overthink. I never like overthinking during the season because it will take you completely out of your rhythm, completely out of everything that you work so hard to accomplish. So summer is a time for me where I can really overthink. I feel myself getting better when I do this. I feel myself going the opposite direction when I do this. So let's not do this no more, and let's do more of this, and then let's add on to that, and be able to maximize every rep, every time I'm in the gym, every time I'm doing strength and conditioning, and be able to just maximize the summer. I think there's so many people that take for granted the off season and just continue to do the same drills that they've been doing over and over and over. But how do you expect to get better when you're kind of doing the same thing?
That's the definition of insanity.
Exactly. So for me, I want to be better, quicker getting to the rim. I feel like I mainly just shot a whole bunch of threes. Not to say that I'm gonna be a rim finisher next year, but I definitely want to improve in that area and be able to get there and get in the paint more and be able to create for not only myself but my teammates as well.
Do you have anybody that you watch that you look up to, like game wise, and like implement? You take from their games and try to implement into your style, your game?
Yeah, it wouldn't be the traditional guys you would think though. For me, a big one is Patty Mills. I see a lot of similarities in our games, just kind of pesky defenders and being people that can really shoot the ball.
Talk about winner. I mean,
Yeah,
as he is a winner.
Is Patty Mills French?
No, he's Australian.
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 Okay, I knew he was international.
Yeah.
So Patty Mills, love his game. Just the way he approaches it. I actually came across one of his workouts last off season, and man, I was on that for like 2 weeks. On the gym, and it was crazy because it was all balance and footwork. Like it was not a whole lot of running. Like I'm used to just running and getting as many shots up while you're tired. But him, those workouts, like me and Glenn, like I might have barely sweated, but I felt like I got good work in, just because the focus was right. So I like Patty Mills. AJ Green is another one. I feel like he emerged this year for the Bucks, and his role is it's just something I can see for myself too. At the same time,
just somebody that is gonna strap at their boots, play hard, and play defense, and make open shots. I like Isaiah Joe for the Thunder. Somebody that's just that spark. And then I think one of my favorite all-time players is Eric Gordon. When he was in his prime, and he was a problem.
Houston, yes,
Yeah, he was a problem. So I really like his game a lot. And I mean, and then it's hard to not want to like the Shea Gilgeous-Alexanders, the Jokic's, like
So clean, man.
yeah, for sure. And like the try and take the pace that Shea plays with, and try to put it in your own game. And but yeah, I think it's just such a copycat league where you can just watch film and say, okay, like he got that, and replay it, and then really break it down to the science, and then be able to implement it yourself.
We asked our last guest this, Mike Knight, but it's a heated debate. It's been a heated debate for years. MJ or LeBron?
Thing to me, I got Kobe over all of them.
Kobe.
Kobe, I'm a big Kobe guy. I grew up Kobe.
248.
Yeah, I grew up. I had the 24 and the 8.
Yeah, both of them.
And I had pretty much
The
every
Lakers.
colorway. Yeah, every colorway. And so for me,
Wow.
yeah, I'm a big Kobe guy. I'm a big Kobe guy.
That's dope, man.
Mamba, and I was able to become very close friends with Jewel Lloyd, who shout out Jewel. She's nicknamed the Gold Mamba by Kobe Bryant. And so kind of just being able to hear through her lens, what Kobe not only meant to her, but the game of basketball and how he approached everything. And the Mamba mentality is real. Like, I mean, you could say LeBron, MJ, but as far as mental capacity and mental toughness, exactly goes, like Kobe's the greatest. And I don't know, for me, you could argue LeBron got the most points or MJ got the most rings, but I don't know, when I sit down and watch a Kobe Bryant full game, like my eyes get bright-eyed, and I'm sitting there watching. Like, even if I gotta go on YouTube and watch the old game, it still brings me back. Like, so yeah, I don't got none of those guys. I got Kobe.
Yeah, that's dope. Well, I remember watching some of those series, like the Celtics, like them battling the Pierce and that group, Garnett, and those were battles, dude.
For sure.
And Kobe would just dominate. I mean, do whatever he wants offensively, but defensively too. He was on their best guy, locking up the full game, and then obviously his last game.
Yeah.
He's what, 38 years old.
Something like that.
You go out like that,
60 people.
like you're a dog, bro. And no, man. And I think just to wrap it up, man, do you have anything to say to these younger hoopers? Trying to obviously lift their games and aspire to get to that next level.
For sure. Don't focus on the right now. Just continue to put in the work day by day. Because I guarantee you the best players in 4th grade will not be the best players when you're in college. And if they are, they're special. But a lot of times that's not the case. So the more you continue to put in the work, and the more you continue to surround yourself with guidance of hooping, and be able to pursue something you're passionate about, keep going. Just never quit. I think that's half the battle. Just never quitting and putting your head down and going to work.
That's it. Well, thanks for coming on the pod, man.
Thank you,
man.
Thank
Appreciate you.
you.
Good luck on your career. And appreciate you taking time to join the pod.
For sure. No, thank y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Cam Tyson.
Thank you.
Everybody.